How does the rule of the square help in king and pawn endgames? Have you ever found yourself in a tense endgame, wondering if your pawn can safely promote? The rule of the square is a handy tool that can help you make that decision. This principle is especially useful in king and pawn endgames, where every move counts. So, how does it work? The rule of the square involves visualizing a square on the chessboard that starts from the pawn's current position and extends to its promotion square. The size of this square is determined by how many moves the pawn needs to reach its goal. If the opposing king can enter this square on its next move, it means the king can catch the pawn. If not, the pawn will promote safely. To apply the rule of the square, first, determine the size of the square. Count the number of squares the pawn needs to move to reach its promotion square. This number will give you the size of the square you need to visualize. Next, assess the position of the opposing king. Check if the king is inside the square or can enter it on the next move. If the king is inside or can enter the square, it can stop the pawn from promoting. If the king is outside the square and cannot enter, the pawn is free to promote. This simple method helps you quickly evaluate pawn races without complex calculations. Understanding this rule can significantly impact your decision-making in endgames. It allows you to decide when to advance your pawns and when to move your king. This knowledge is particularly important when you have to choose between promoting your own pawn or stopping an opponent's pawn from advancing. In the broader context of endgame techniques, the rule of the square works well with other principles, like the opposition. It helps you manage your pawns effectively and assess the potential of past pawns. By mastering this rule, you can improve your chances of converting advantages into wins in king and pawn endgames. So, the next time you find yourself in a king and pawn endgame, remember the rule of the square. It can be the difference between a win and a draw, or even a loss. With practice, this principle will become second nature, helping you navigate those critical moments with confidence.